Digital minimalism argues that the constant, low-grade compulsive use of smartphones and social media is quietly eroding people's ability to focus, reflect, and live intentionally, and presents a philosophy for using technology more deliberately by focusing only on tools that genuinely support one's values, while eliminating everything else. Cal Newport opens by distinguishing digital minimalism from simple digital detoxes or willpower-based restriction, defining it instead as a philosophy of technology use in which you focus your online time on a small number of carefully selected activities that strongly support things you value, and happily miss out on everything else. He explains that most people didn't consciously choose to spend hours daily on social media and their phones. Rather, these behaviors were deliberately engineered by technology companies using persuasive design techniques, such as variable rewards and social approval indicators, specifically designed to exploit psychological vulnerabilities and maximize engagement regardless of whether that engagement actually benefits the user. Newport introduces the digital declutter, a 30-day process in which readers step away from optional technologies entirely, rediscover offline activities and hobbies that provide genuine satisfaction, and then deliberately and selectively reintroduce only the technologies that pass a strict cost-benefit evaluation based on their actual values, rather than defaulting back to old habits out of boredom or social pressure. A central theme of the book is the distinction between technology that supports something you deeply value versus technology that merely provides some benefit, arguing that the low bar of "it's occasionally useful" is not a sufficient justification for allowing a technology to consume significant time and attention in your life. Newport explores the philosophical roots of solitude, defining it not necessarily as physical isolation but as being free from input from other minds, and argues that the modern habit of filling every spare moment with digital stimulation, checking phones while walking, waiting, or even during brief pauses in conversation, has led to what he calls solitude deprivation, which undermines self-reflection, emotional processing, and creative thinking. The book emphasizes rebuilding high-quality leisure activities and hobbies that require skill development and active engagement, arguing that passive digital consumption, like scrolling social media, provides only weak, unsatisfying substitutes for the deeper sense of accomplishment and identity that comes from developing genuine skills and pursuing demanding, rewarding activities. Newport discusses the importance of prioritizing conversation-centric communication over connection-centric communication, arguing that low-bandwidth digital interactions like texting or liking posts create an illusion of social connection while actually providing far less psychological benefit than genuine, high-quality conversation and in-person interaction. He explores practical strategies for engaging with social media and other optional technologies in a more intentional way, such as scheduling specific, limited times for use rather than allowing constant, reactive checking throughout the day, and consolidating text-based communication into structured, office hours, rather than remaining perpetually available. The book also addresses the broader cultural forces driving compulsive technology use, discussing how attention has become one of the most valuable commodities in the modern economy, meaning that fighting back against distraction and reclaiming intentional technology use requires active effort rather than passive acceptance of default settings and behaviors. Throughout the book, Newport's central argument is that reclaiming a more focused, intentional life doesn't require rejecting technology altogether, but rather requires deliberately auditing which digital tools genuinely align with your deeper values, and having the discipline to eliminate the rest, even when doing so goes against strong social and psychological pressures to remain constantly connected.